Hi friends, and welcome to another exciting video. Have you ever wondered how some of the world's biggest companies make all that money? Well, today, we're diving deep into that question. From Apple's billion-dollar iPhones to Amazon's one-day delivery magic, we're going to explore how these companies generate huge profits every day, every month, and every year. And guess what? While you learn all about this fascinating world of business, you'll be improving your English too. So if you're ready to boost your English and get some cool insights about these giant companies, hit subscribe right now. We upload fresh and interesting content every single day, and trust me, you don't want to miss out. Let's get started and learn something new together. Let's play with an idea for a second. Imagine you woke up today as the CEO of one of the world's biggest companies: Apple, Google, Microsoft, Facebook, Samsung, Amazon, Walmart, Tesla, or Coca-Cola. Just for one day. Now here's the twist: by the time you brush your teeth, these companies will have already made millions of dollars. By the time you eat breakfast, hundreds of millions more. And by the end of the day, we're talking billions. Sounds unbelievable, right? But this isn't fantasy, it's reality. These companies aren't just businesses anymore, they're global money-making machines. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of how they rake in mind-blowing profits every single day, month, and year, and trust me, some of these numbers are going to leave you speechless. It's funny how these companies have quietly become part of our daily routines. You wake up and grab your phone. Is it an iPhone or a Samsung? You check social media, maybe Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp. Surprise, they're all owned by Meta, formerly Facebook. Next, you probably search for something on Google, because let's be honest, who doesn't? Maybe you open up Microsoft Word to start your work or school project. By now, you've already interacted with half these companies, and it's not even 9 a.m. yet. Later, you might grab a Coke from the fridge or order something on Amazon because, let's face it, they've made it way too easy. Before you know it, you've touched almost every one of these companies without even realizing it. And every time you do, they make money, a lot of it. But exactly how much are they making? Let's break it down and prepare yourself, because these numbers are beyond anything you might expect. Alright, let's kick things off with one of the biggest names out there: Apple. Apple, the Cupertino king. So, Apple. Who doesn't love Apple? I mean, seriously, who can resist the allure of that shiny new iPhone, or the sleek look of a MacBook? Apple didn't just make computers or phones. They changed the way we live, work, and connect. It all started back in 1976 when Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Ronald Wayne launched the company in a garage. Can you imagine? A garage, of all places. Talk about humble beginnings, right? Fast forward to today, and Apple is one of the most valuable companies on the planet. They've created an entire universe with their products, and you better believe they're raking in the cash. I mean, Apple's market value? It's over $2.5 trillion. That's more than the GDP of some countries. Crazy, right? Let's talk about the profits. You might already have an idea that Apple isn't struggling to make money, but the real numbers are jaw-dropping. Every single day, Apple makes roughly $400 million. Every day. Think about that next time you're scrolling through Instagram or watching a YouTube video on your iPhone. Now, break that down over the course of a month. Apple is making over $12 billion every single month. And by the end of the year, their profits add up to $365 billion. That's nearly a third of $1 trillion. All of that is coming from their products, of course, but also from things like the App Store, iCloud, and services like Apple Music. In fact, services alone have become a huge revenue stream for Apple, making up a significant portion of their total income. But here's the thing, Steve Jobs might not be around anymore, but his vision is still very much alive in Apple's DNA. And now, Tim Cook, the current CEO, is continuing to push the company forward. It's incredible when you think about how a company that started with just a few people in a garage is now leading the tech world, right? Google, Alphabet, the search engine that changed everything. Alright, moving on to Google, or as it's known today, Alphabet. Now, I don't know about you, but when I think of Google, the first thing that pops into my head is, well, searching for stuff. I mean, Google is literally the reason we type Google it instead of look it up. It all started back in 1998 with Larry Page and Sergey Brin, two Stanford students who were just trying to figure out a better way to search the web. They didn't set out to create a global empire, but that's exactly what happened. Today, Google is everywhere. You've got Google Maps, YouTube, Gmail, and so much more. It's not just about searching anymore, it's about connecting the entire world to everything they could possibly want. And let's not forget about the massive chunk of revenue Google pulls in from advertising. Google ads and YouTube ads are huge moneymakers. So, here's the fun part, how much does Google actually make? Well, the numbers are as big as you'd expect. On any given day, Google pulls in roughly $280 million. That's more than most people make in a lifetime or in several lifetimes. Across the course of a month, they're making over $8.5 billion. Yeah, billion with a B. And over the course of a year, Alphabet, Google's parent company, makes somewhere around $300 billion. It's almost hard to believe that a company that started as a search engine is now a global juggernaut. It's not all about ads, though. Google has been branching out. Think Google Cloud, Waymo, their self-driving car division, and even their efforts in AI. These ventures are already bringing in billions, and they've only just started growing. What's really fascinating is how much of Google's revenue is driven by advertising. Their ability to connect people with businesses is mind-blowing, and it shows in their numbers. No wonder Sundar Pichai, the current CEO, is steering Google to bigger and better things. Microsoft, the software giant with deep roots. Next up is Microsoft. Microsoft. It feels like you can't go a day without hearing about them. Whether you're using a Windows computer or chatting with someone on Teams, Microsoft is all around us. But did you know that it all started back in 1975 with Bill Gates and Paul Allen? They saw a world where personal computers could change everything. They were onto something big, and they took that idea and ran with it. Fast forward to today, and Microsoft is one of the top tech companies in the world. Microsoft is everywhere, from the software you use on your PC to the games you play on Xbox. And let's not forget about Azure, their cloud platform, which has become a serious competitor to Google Cloud and Amazon Web Services. Microsoft's business model is diverse, from licensing software like Office to offering cloud solutions. They've built an empire that spans many sectors. But let's talk profits. Every day, Microsoft brings in about $290 million. Over the course of a month, they're pulling in around $8.7 billion. And when you take a step back and look at the yearly totals, Microsoft rakes in somewhere around $220 billion. That's a massive number, and it speaks to the power of their diversified approach. Software, cloud, gaming. It's all bringing in the big bucks. And you know what's cool? While Bill Gates isn't the CEO anymore, his legacy is still deeply embedded in the company. Satya Nadella, the current CEO, has taken Microsoft to new heights, particularly in cloud computing. It's pretty incredible how Microsoft keeps evolving while staying true to its roots. Facebook, Meta, the social media behemoth. We've got Facebook. Okay, I know we're all aware of Facebook, but did you know that Facebook's parent company now goes by the name Meta? That's right. Mark Zuckerberg, the guy who started Facebook in his college dorm room back in 2004, has taken Facebook into some pretty interesting new directions, namely, the metaverse. But we'll get to that in a minute. Facebook, now Meta, is the king of social media. You've got Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp under the same umbrella, which means it's no surprise that the company is making bank. But let's talk numbers. Every day, Facebook makes around $180 million, and that's all from ads. You're scrolling through your feed, and those ads are how Facebook generates a massive chunk of its revenue. Over the course of a month, Facebook rakes in about $5.5 billion, and for the year, Meta pulls in roughly $120 billion. A lot of that comes from their advertising business, which has been incredibly successful. Even though Facebook's facing some challenges with user growth, especially with younger audiences, it's still a money machine. Now, Zuckerberg is still at the helm, and his vision of the metaverse is one of the company's big bets for the future. It's all about the next evolution of the internet, and Meta is all in. Samsung, the global electronics powerhouse. Now, when you think of Samsung, you probably picture a smartphone or maybe a TV, right? But this company isn't just about gadgets, they're a global leader in consumer electronics, semiconductors, and even shipbuilding. Samsung is massive. The company was founded back in 1938 by Lee Byung-chul in South Korea as a trading company. But today, Samsung has its hands in everything, from high-tech smartphones and TVs to the microchips that power many of the world's devices. So, what does Samsung's financial picture look like? Well, it's no surprise that Samsung is rolling in cash. They've mastered the art of creating products that people rely on every day, from phones to televisions. But where they really make their money is in the semiconductor business. Semiconductors are the backbone of modern electronics. They're in everything from phones and computers to cars and refrigerators. And Samsung is a major player in the semiconductor market. Samsung makes an eye-watering amount of money every day. Roughly, they bring in about $300 million a day, which, when you think about it, is insane. But over the course of a month? That's about $9 billion. Now, for the yearly totals, Samsung's revenue comes in around $250 billion. It's incredible when you realize that Samsung isn't just making phones. They're a key supplier for a whole range of industries, from tech to automotive to entertainment. And don't forget about their Samsung Electronics arm, which produces everything from smartphones to home appliances. Lee Byung-chul would probably be amazed at how far the company has come since its humble beginnings. Today, Samsung continues to innovate and stay ahead of the game, with Kim Ki-nam leading the charge in the electronics business. Amazon, the everything store and its founder's vision. Let's talk about Amazon. Amazon started off as an online bookstore, right? That's how it all began back in 1994 when Jeff Bezos started the company in his garage. Today, Amazon is the global leader in e-commerce, and it's arguably one of the most influential companies in the world. When you think of Amazon, you probably think of fast deliveries and endless products, but Amazon isn't just an online store. It's a tech giant that owns Amazon Web Services, AWS, Whole Foods, and Prime Video, just to name a few. So, what kind of money are we talking about when it comes to Amazon? Well, this is where it gets really interesting. Amazon's business model is built on multiple revenue streams. Not only do they sell everything under the sun, but they also charge businesses and individuals to use their AWS cloud platform, which is a major profit driver. Here's the breakdown. Every day, Amazon makes around $800 million. Think about how much Amazon is facilitating every single day. Every order you place, every Prime Video you watch, every AWS service someone uses, that's all generating money for Amazon. On a monthly scale, Amazon rakes in around $24 billion. And yes, I said billion. From the retail sales, cloud services, and even subscriptions like Amazon Prime, Amazon is bringing in massive amounts of money. For the entire year, Amazon makes more than $500 billion in revenue. To put that in perspective, that's almost as much as the GDP of some countries. Not bad for a company that started out selling books. The crazy thing is, Jeff Bezos, who founded Amazon, stepped down as CEO in 2021. But his influence is still very much alive in Amazon's culture and vision. Now Andy Jassy is the CEO, and he's overseeing the company's expansion into even more sectors, from Amazon Studios to Amazon Health. Walmart, the retail giant with a global footprint. Next, let's talk about Walmart. Now, I'm sure all of us have walked into a Walmart store at some point, right? Whether you're picking up groceries or grabbing a quick snack, Walmart is everywhere. Founded by Sam Walton in 1962, Walmart has grown into the world's largest retailer. They're not just in the US, they have stores in dozens of countries around the world, with millions of customers walking through their doors every day. Walmart's business model is pretty straightforward: sell a huge variety of products at low prices. But when you sell things in such massive volumes, you end up raking in an incredible amount of money. Every day, Walmart makes about $1.5 billion in revenue. That's right, billion with a B. And if you think about that over the course of a month, Walmart pulls in roughly $45 billion. So, if you ever thought you spent a lot of time in Walmart, you're not alone. Millions of people are shopping there every day, and the company is benefiting big time. And let's not forget about Walmart's online presence. Even though they're the king of brick-and-mortar retail, their e-commerce business is also growing rapidly. All of this combined brings Walmart's total annual revenue to an eye-popping $600 billion. For a company that started as a single store in Arkansas, that's one heck of a journey. Tesla, the electric revolution. Now, let's switch gears a little and talk about Tesla. When you think of electric vehicles, you think of Tesla. Founded by Elon Musk, who wasn't the original founder, but let's be honest, he's the face of the company now. J.B. Straubel and Martin Eberhard in 2003. Tesla has gone from a niche electric car company to a global leader in sustainable energy solutions. Here's the thing: Tesla isn't just about electric cars. They're also revolutionizing energy with solar panels and energy storage solutions. And let's not forget about autonomous driving. But at the heart of it, Tesla is most famous for those electric vehicles that have turned heads all over the world. How much does Tesla make? Well, Tesla's numbers are pretty impressive too. Every day, Tesla generates about $200 million in revenue. A lot of that comes from the sales of their cars, like the Model 3, Model S, and Model X. For a monthly total, Tesla makes around $6 billion. Over the course of a year, they're pulling in somewhere around $80 billion. That's a lot of cars and energy solutions being sold worldwide. It's incredible when you think about how much this company has achieved in such a short time. And what's even crazier is the fact that Elon Musk has made Tesla a household name. From launching rockets to taking on the car industry, Musk has turned Tesla into a company that's both innovative and incredibly profitable. Coca-Cola, the iconic beverage brand. Finally, we're going to talk about a company that's been around for over a century, Coca-Cola. Founded by John Stith Pemberton in 1886, Coca-Cola started out as a medicinal tonic before transforming into the global beverage giant we know today. Coca-Cola is one of the most recognizable brands in the world, and their products are sold in nearly every country. So, how much does a company that sells soda and drinks all over the world bring in? Well, Coca-Cola's profits are pretty sweet. They generate roughly $150 million a day, mostly from their iconic soda, but also from their vast portfolio of drinks, which includes Diet Coke, Sprite, Minute Maid, and Dasani. That's $150 million a day in global revenue. For a monthly total, Coca-Cola is pulling in about $4.5 billion. And yearly? They generate more than $45 billion. James Quincy, the current CEO, has made it his mission to diversify Coca-Cola's product line, so they're not just relying on soda. Coca-Cola now offers everything from water to energy drinks, and that's only helped the company's bottom line. Wow, can you believe how much money these companies are making? Now, we're going to zoom out a bit and look at the big picture. How do these companies impact our lives? What's the future of these business giants, and how are they shaping the world? More importantly, how can we understand the kind of power they have, not just in terms of money, but also influence? Now, when you think about Amazon, you might think of quick deliveries, maybe an order you placed just last week. But beyond the delivery trucks and the convenience of Prime, Amazon is doing something far more powerful. They're collecting an unbelievable amount of data. Every time you shop, every search you make, every movie you stream on Prime Video, Amazon is learning more about your preferences, your habits, and your choices. And Amazon isn't alone in this. Google, Facebook, and even Apple, with their App Store and iCloud, are constantly gathering data from their users. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. In fact, this data helps companies personalize their services, making our digital lives easier and more tailored to our needs. But it's also part of a larger, somewhat troubling trend, the monetization of data. Think about it, Facebook knows when you're likely to be scrolling through your feed, what posts you like, and even what ads you interact with. Google knows what you're searching for, where you're going, and what you're watching. And Apple? Well, Apple might be a little different in terms of how much data they collect, but even they can use your purchasing habits to boost their profits. These companies have massive amounts of data on us, our interests, our behaviors, and even our movements. Now, this data is more than just information, it's a revenue stream. They can use it to target ads to you in a way that's more effective than ever before. Take Google Ads, for instance. Businesses pay Google to target specific groups of people based on their browsing history, location, and even interests. Facebook ads work in the same way, targeting users based on a ton of personal information, making the ads more relevant and, thus, more likely to convert into sales. But what's the big picture? These companies are sitting on a goldmine of data. This gives them not only huge financial power but also immense influence over the way we consume information, shop, and even think. Meta, formerly Facebook, and Google have arguably some of the greatest powers when it comes to shaping public opinion through their algorithms, news feeds, and search results. The digital economy, moving away from physical stores. Speaking of influence, let's take a look at Walmart. Now, we all know Walmart's an old-school retailer, but here's the thing: even Walmart has had to adapt to the digital age. The rise of e-commerce has changed the way people shop, and Walmart has shifted a large portion of its business online. But here's the catch: Walmart didn't just rely on its massive network of physical stores. They've been aggressively expanding their online operations, trying to compete with the likes of Amazon. Walmart's been spending big on e-commerce and technology to keep up. They've started offering more same-day delivery services, expanding their Walmart Plus membership to compete with Amazon's Prime service, and even investing in things like robots to help with in-store logistics. Sam Walton, the founder of Walmart, would probably be astounded by the way the company has adapted to the modern world of digital shopping. But this isn't just about Walmart, it's about how the entire retail industry is changing. More and more, companies are moving toward online-first strategies, with physical stores becoming secondary. Sure, we still visit stores for certain things, but the bulk of shopping is now done online. In fact, global e-commerce sales are expected to surpass $6 trillion by 2024. That's a huge shift, and it's completely reshaping how businesses operate. It's also important to note how these shifts are impacting traditional industries. Take Tesla, for instance. When Elon Musk started Tesla, it was a car company. Today, it's an innovative energy company. Tesla's main business model focuses on electric vehicles, but they've also changed the entire automotive industry. If you had told people in the 2000s that the future of cars would be electric, many would have laughed. But Tesla proved that it could be done, and now traditional automakers like Ford and General Motors are scrambling to catch up. But Tesla isn't just changing the world of cars, they're changing how we think about energy. With innovations like solar panels and power storage solutions, Tesla's goal isn't just to sell cars. It's to create a future where we rely less on fossil fuels and more on sustainable, renewable energy sources. Tech giants and sustainability, the green future. Which brings us to another big topic, sustainability. Today, more and more people are talking about climate change and the future of the planet. And while some industries have a long way to go when it comes to sustainability, many of these tech giants are stepping up. Amazon, for example, has committed to reaching net zero carbon emissions by 2040. That's a massive goal for a company that's responsible for so many shipments worldwide. They're investing heavily in electric delivery vehicles and solar energy. They're also working toward using more sustainable packaging and reducing waste in their supply chains. Of course, Amazon isn't alone. Tesla has been pioneering electric vehicles for over a decade now, and their cars are helping reduce emissions. Tesla is also leading the way with their solar power solutions and battery storage systems, making renewable energy more accessible to homeowners. Then there's Apple. Apple has long been focused on sustainability. They've worked hard to make their products more eco-friendly by using recycled materials and ensuring that their factories operate with fewer emissions. Tim Cook, Apple's current CEO, has made it clear that Apple wants to be a leader in the fight against climate change. The company's aim is to become 100% carbon neutral by 2030, which is a pretty bold ambition. But knowing Apple, if anyone can do it, it's them. Of course, not everything these companies do is perfect. There are still major challenges to overcome, especially when it comes to the global supply chain, energy usage, and waste. But the fact that these companies are making sustainability a priority is a step in the right direction. The future, will these companies keep winning? So, what's next for these giants? Are they going to keep winning, or will they eventually face disruption from up-and-coming startups? Well, that's a good question. As we've seen, companies like Apple, Amazon, Google, and Tesla have shown an incredible ability to adapt. They've expanded their businesses beyond their original models, diversifying into cloud computing, artificial intelligence, electric vehicles, and even space exploration. The thing about these companies is that they're constantly pushing the envelope. They're not just satisfied with being market leaders, they want to create entire industries and redefine the future. But there's always the chance that new technology will disrupt even the biggest companies. For example, cryptocurrencies and blockchain have the potential to change how we view money, banking, and transactions, and companies that don't adapt could face serious challenges. The rise of artificial intelligence might also disrupt many industries, potentially threatening the dominance of companies that are slow to innovate. And then there's the issue of regulation. As these companies grow, governments around the world are beginning to scrutinize their power more closely. There are talks about breaking up tech giants like Facebook and Google, or even regulating them more strictly. It's clear that the government sees the power that these companies wield, and the question is, how will that impact their future growth? So, we've covered a lot of ground today. From the massive profits these companies rake in, to their influence on our lives. And even how they're changing the world for the better, or in some cases, for the worse. The truth is, Apple, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Samsung, Walmart, Tesla, and Coca-Cola are companies that have changed the world in ways we're still trying to fully understand. Their influence reaches into every aspect of our lives, from how we shop, to how we communicate, to how we power our homes and cars. And while there's no telling what the future holds, it's clear that these companies will continue to shape the world for years to come. Whether for better or for worse, these giants have a lot of power, and it's up to us, as consumers, employees, and global citizens, to hold them accountable and help shape a future that works for everyone. That's a wrap for today. I hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into the big companies that dominate our world. It's been a fun ride, and I can't wait to talk to you next time. Thanks for watching.